Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cactus Caffeine. If you are new here, my name is Anna. In this channel, I share with you my passion of growing cactus and other desert plants, usually with a cup of coffee in my hand. But for today, it's a little bit different. It's Coke with coffee. I discovered this in the grocery aisle, so it's something new. Coke came up with their coffee series. I saw 3 of them: caramel, vanilla, and the dark roast. I've tried the caramel. I like this one. At first, it is a little bit strange drinking coffee that's carbonated, because it really tastes like coffee, but it's carbonated. But as I was drinking it, I learned to like it. I like the caramel. The dark roast is a little bit too much of a coffee taste for me, for it to be a soft drink. And I haven't tried the vanilla yet. So if you see this in the market, see if you like it and let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so for today, in one of my last videos, I told you that I saw some of my cacti. They were already coming out of winter dormancy, and that was 1 week ago when I made that video. And this past week, we've had warmer days. We were in the 70s in the morning, although night temperature still drops to the 40s, like mid 40s, but morning temperatures is 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And what a difference that 1 week made. One warmer week made. So look at this one. Last time I showed them to you, they were just forming buds. Now one of them already is open. This is a Rebutia minuscula. Okay, and then this Eriosyce right here, villosa, is still blooming very pretty. I think this is already the 2nd full week that it has been open. Well, the new ones keep opening, and then old ones would, wither. But it's been 2 weeks that it has flowers on top of this tiny cactus. And then this is a Gymnocalcium bruchii. The flower buds just suddenly went into a growth spurt. Yeah, so very beautiful. A lot has been going on. Very exciting. See, so those are buds there on top, and this one as well, mammillaria. I see something going on there on top. I see little pink tips. And then I can also see something brewing on the areoles of this cactus. I just don't want to, focus or dwell much on them. I don't want to jinx them. So as we say in the Philippines, puwera usog. So we'll see. I'll let you know in the next few days what comes up. So hopefully, I'll get good blooming season this year. But like I told you in my last video, I was going to give my cacti all their first deep watering with fertilizer. So in the last I think a day after I shot that video, what I did is I fertilized first the cacti that are here inside my greenhouse. Most of them, those that were already showing signs of new growth, new spines or new buds, I gave them their first deep watering with fertilizer. And then the rest, I gave them, I think, 3 days after. But for my cactus that are outside my greenhouse, it will be only today that I will give them their first deep watering with fertilizer. And that is because I have seen a lot of difference, or a lot of new growth in just 1 week. Let me show them to you. So these are one of the few cacti that I took outside of my greenhouse and put them here on a table underneath a tree. And I was at work for 5 straight days, so I wasn't able to really take care or look into my cacti. But look at this one. After 5 days, all of a sudden, the buds, I noticed there were little buds forming on this a week ago, but look, now they're starting to open up. here's another one right here. This is a Parodia scopa, also forming buds. And this is one of the purchases I made over the winter. This is Opuntia Nail Pastel with a little bit of growth there. I'm not sure if that's a new pad or a new bud forming, but definitely it has come out of winter dormancy. Okay, back here in my greenhouse. So the first ones that got a deep watering with fertilizers here inside the greenhouse are those that are showing visible signs of new growth. So either they have new spines on them or there are flower buds forming. And then 2 days after, I think, I decided to give everybody else their first deep watering with fertilizer, because our days have been warmer and the forecast in the next few days is still going to be warm, although very windy, but it's gonna be warmer. So I know pretty soon all of these will come out of winter dormancy, so I decided to fertilize all the rest of my plants that are here inside the greenhouse. What I use to fertilize my plants, and I've discussed this in my previous videos, the very first deep watering that I give them after winter dormancy, I put a fertilizer that encourages blooming. Okay, so what I use is a tomato fertilizer. So any fertilizer formulated, for tomato plants, because usually they have low nitrogen and high phosphorus and potassium in it. So those encourages flowering. So the nitrogen encourages more growth, but the phosphorus and the potassium is the one that encourages more flowering or more blooming. So I like to use tomato fertilizer because of that reason. I discussed more about this. It doesn't have to be this brand, by the way. You can use any tomato fertilizer. If you've seen my past videos, I made a video on how to make your cactus bloom abundantly. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link up on this screen, and also on another video that I did last year. That was the video entitled how to water your cactus after its winter rest, I think. I forgot the exact title, but you will see the link as well on top of this video and in the description down below. So I use tomato fertilizer to encourage flowering on my cacti on the very first deep watering that I give them. But this year I am going to do an experiment. So I've gotten a lot of feedback from you that there are certain countries that it is hard to get tomato fertilizer. So I decided this year I will do an experiment. So I went in the nursery and looked for an alternative, and this is what I decided to use. This is a fertilizer meant to encourage blooming, not for cactus and succulents. So this is for other types of plants that are flowering plants. So I've decided to give this a try and see if it will work. So for my experiment, I will be using this new fertilizer on all my Echinopsis and Lobivia cactus. And then for the rest of my cacti, this is what I am going to use. So this is tried and tested, the tomato fertilizer. I've been using this for several years and it has given me super bloom. So I know this works, but I am not exactly sure if this is going to work. So I use this on all my cacti that I know are either Lobivia or Echinopsis. I only used half the strength of what is recommended here in the bottle because it might be too strong for cactus. Cactus don't really need too much fertilizer. So I only used half the strength of this in watering all my Echinopsis and Lobivia. As for the rest of the cactus, I still used this ever reliable tomato fertilizer. So Echinocereus, Astrophytum, what else? Trichocereus, Rebutia, all the other flowering cacti that I have, Gymnocalycium, I used this one. So we're going to find out in the next few weeks or in the next few months. Watch out if you don't see too many spectacular blooming echinopsis or lobivia, then we know that probably this did not work, but we're gonna find out. So stay tuned for the rest of my video or flowering video for this year. So 4 days after I watered the cacti inside my greenhouse, now I've decided also to give the cacti outside my greenhouse and in my garden, in my backyard, their first deep watering. I have recently seen some developments here as well. So I've seen some areoles that are starting to swell up as well. And then here at the bottom, these are mostly echinopsis. So I see a little bit of growth on the areoles right there. So I know that these cacti here are also coming out of winter dormancy. And I also checked our weather forecast for the next few days. It will be warm in the 60s. All these ones right here, these are all echinopsis. So what I have here in my watering can, this is the new fertilizer that I'm going to try out. So like I told you, I am going to try it out only on all of my echinopsis and lobivia cacti. So this way I can isolate the effectiveness of this new fertilizer that I am trying out. Okay, I'll just give that time to soak it in as well. This is another echinopsis, so I'll give this the same fertilized water. And this is my pink rainbow burst. This one has lovely big pink blooms on it. Okay, so I'll just keep watering all these, and I will also do the same thing with the ones in my garden, but for the non-echinopsis I will use the tomato fertilizer. So that is it for my video for today. I won't show you anymore how I mix those fertilizer. Pretty much easy. If you want to see me doing that, you can refer to my past video that was how to water your cactus after its winter dormancy. There I explained it and I showed you how I mix and water my cacti. Alright, thank you guys for joining me today, and thank you so much for all of your likes and your comments. I appreciate them very much. If you like my videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys, and subscribe if you like cactus and other desert plants. And I hope to see you as well in my Facebook and Instagram accounts. Alright, thank you again, guys. Have a nice day, and as always, cheers!